On the line for his first live interview as Premier, Denis Napthine. Congratulations.
Thank you, Neil. It's certainly a great honour and a great privilege to be sworn in as Premier of Victoria. This is a great state. I absolutely love this state. I love Victoria, and I look forward to rolling up my sleeves and doing my level best to lead this state into a strong and bright future.
So was Ted Baillieu knifed?
No, Ted Baillieu wasn't knifed.
So why did he go?
Ted made a decision of his own volition to step down as leader of the Liberal Party. You will know, Neil, that Ted is a man of great integrity. He's a very honourable person, and you also know that, as far as I'm concerned, Ted is not just a colleague, but a absolutely close personal friend.
Yes, but why did he go?
That was his decision.
He must have told the party room, though.
No, I don't comment on what happens in the party room. But
Premier, to be fair, this is a man we elected as Premier in Victoria. He's gone. We deserve to know why.
My understanding is that the Premier, or former Premier, felt that he had lost the support of the party room, and that he was acting as he always does. Ted Baillieu always acts.
So it was
in the interest of the state and the party first. He's never ever been motivated by self-interest.
I'd agree.
That is not Ted Baillieu.
No, I agree.
And Ted Baillieu looked around and said that he felt that he didn't have the support that he needed, and he therefore made the decision of his own volition.
Did you speak to him? Did he get a tap on the shoulder?
He didn't get a tap on the shoulder.
But he just had a look and said, I haven't got the numbers, did he?
He spoke to me, and he said that he felt that he didn't have the support of the party room.
And so when did you decide to run?
Late yesterday afternoon.
And that was after speaking to him?
While speaking to him, in discussions with Ted.
So he wanted you to run?
Well, you know, Ted is a remarkable individual. He is the most honourable politician that I've had the honour of working with, of serving under, and Ted has always put the interests of Victoria first, the Liberal Party first, whether it was when he was a president of the Liberal Party, whether it was when he was first elected as Parliament, whether it was when he was leader of the party in opposition or was Premier of the state.
So why had he lost the support of the party?
Well, that's for others to make comments on and judge.
Yeah, but I mean, you're lauding the man, and you're saying what a great man he was and a good leader, but your own party has wanted to dump him. It doesn't say much about your parliamentary party, does it?
Well, I think that's for others to make comments on and judge. The decision has been made at 10:20 last night. I was sworn in as the 47th Premier of the state. This is a great honour for me, but also a great challenge, and I will roll up my sleeves and get on with the job, working with my party team, my ministerial team, my coalition colleagues to provide strong, decisive and good government for the people of Victoria.
Had Ted Baillieu had enough of being undermined?
Well, those questions are best directed at Ted Baillieu rather than myself, because I can't put myself in his shoes on those matters.
Was Jeff Kennett's intervention relevant?
Well, again, those questions are best directed at Ted. I think that Ted, as I've said, is a most honourable man. He has served this party well, he's served the state well, and those questions are best directed to him.
Was he a good leader?
I enjoyed working with Ted. Ted was a person that I could talk to, relate to, and you always knew with Ted that he would always look at what was in the best interests of the state of Victoria. And that was always his motivation. He was always driven by his love of Victoria, his enthusiasm to make Victoria the best state possible, and so I enjoyed working with him.
See, this sounds like the man should be given a sainthood rather than dumped. Why? What did he do wrong?
No. Ted made a decision to step down.
Because he didn't have the support of the party. Why had he lost support of the party? You need to know that because you're replacing him.
Ted made that decision. I put my name forward. I was elected as a leader of the party, and we're now going to get on with the job.
Okay, but just what did he do wrong? You must look at that because you don't want to do the same thing.
Well, what we've got to do is get on with the job. That's my task, and that's why I've been elected as leader of the party.
Fair enough.
I've now been sworn in as Premier, and I've got a job to do. There are huge challenges facing this state, and we've got to get on with the job of providing good government for Victoria.
Fair enough, and you've got a government in a very precarious position because of the resignation of Jeff Shaw. Have you spoken to him yet?
No, I haven't spoken to Jeff Shaw.
Will you negotiate with him?
I'll talk to all my colleagues, and I'll talk to Mr Shaw in the near future.
Do you want him to rejoin the party?
Well, I'll talk to Mr Shaw, and I don't want to preempt those discussions, but I'll talk to Mr Shaw, and I'm also happy to talk to any member of the other side of the fence who wants to come and join us in government as well.
Is it true that Mr Shaw said he would never vote, he would never support the government under Ted Baillieu as leader?
I'm not aware of those comments,
okay.
No.
Did he bring it to a head? Did the resignation of Shaw bring it to a head?
No, that's not my interpretation. I don't think that's a fair interpretation.
Okay, it's your birthday yesterday, 61. You're not the youngest man ever to be appointed Premier. Are you a
Well, I don't think we want to be ageist. I think there are plenty of people who are 60 and 61 who have got enormous positive contributions to make at the workplace
Couldn't
and
agree more.
across society.
I'm one of them. But are you a caretaker Premier?
I'm certainly not a caretaker Premier, but I want to take care of this state. That's what I'm about, taking care of the state, building the state, growing job opportunities, growing infrastructure, growing services, and delivering for those people of Victoria who need that special assistance.
Okay, you will lead into the next election?
Well, I will certainly lead into the next election, and our task between now and November 2014 is to put our best foot forward and to win the confidence of the people of Victoria by providing good, strong, decisive government so that we can go into the next election with a degree of confidence and hopefully win the trust and votes of the people of Victoria.
Okay, well, you've got a few issues, haven't you? A few tests. Jeff Shaw might be the first one. Can you fix the teachers' dispute?
Well, I'll certainly be looking to get onto the task of dealing with the teachers' EBA and other EBAs. We've, as a government, dealt with difficult EBAs with the police, with nurses, with the public sector, and certainly we'll be looking to have a positive negotiation with the teachers and their union representatives and get an outcome that's very satisfactory to the teachers and to the people of Victoria. So let me say that I have absolute respect for the great work teachers do in our schools. They do a terrific job educating our children, and we need to make sure that they have the right paying conditions as reflects that important job they do.
Is there more money there for them?
Well, we are certainly keen to negotiate an outcome that will give them a satisfactory paying conditions, but at the same time we have a responsibility to get a fair deal for teachers and a fair deal for the taxpayers of this state.
It's been going on for a long time. When do you want it fixed by?
Well, it's been going on for a long time. I want the teachers to come to the negotiating table with a positive frame of mind, and if we put our minds to it with a positive frame of mind, I believe we can get an outcome, and that's what I'll be looking to achieve.
Would you negotiate that personally?
Well, I think we have specialists in negotiation who are very aware of the details of the EBA, and they're the best people to negotiate. But I certainly, as Premier, make it very clear that this is a high priority for myself and my government.
The health funding crisis with the federal government, can you sort that out? Is it the fault of the federal government?
Well, certainly we know the federal government withdrew funding halfway through a financial year. That is totally unacceptable, and that absolutely decimated the budgets of our hospitals. Now, what's happened is the federal government have realised they've made a mistake. They've restored this year's money, $107 million, but there's still over $300 million to be restored over the next 3 years. So I would hope that the federal government, having understood they've made a mistake, will not just fix it for 1 year, but fix it for the full 4 years.
By one definition, Victoria's gone into recession. Are jobs can you create jobs in Victoria?
Well, let me correct that. Victoria hasn't gone into recession.
That's one definition. I agree with that.
No, well, I'm sorry. The growth is measured by changes in gross state product. And the latest figures showed GSP for Victoria grew by 2.3%. State final demand is not a measure.
Well, all right, it's not a good indicator, is it?
So
it's not a healthy indicator.
I mean, we had the opposition Treasury spokesman running around using the wrong figures.
I don't want to talk about the opposite. It's not a great figure, is it?
Well, state final demand figures exclude important issues like international net
all right.
export,
Well, do we have a problem with
export.
jobs? Do we have a problem with jobs?
Certainly, we need to build more jobs in this state. But the facts are, Neil, that there are 12,000 more Victorians employed now than when the coalition was elected to government in December 2010. 12,000 more Victorians employed now than when we were first elected.
One other policy matter. I suppose we're stuck with jumps racing now, are we?
Well, jumps racing season started in Warrnambool the other day, and there were 2 jumps races that were conducted very successfully.
But you're a strong supporter of it, aren't you?
And last year we had a very, very successful jump season.
And you remain a strong supporter of jumps racing?
I support jumps racing. I think it is an important part of our culture and history and creates jobs and employment in the racing industry, which is one of our biggest employers.
I know
70,000 people employed in racing across this state. They are important jobs, particularly in regional and rural Victoria.
I know you need to get away, which is entirely understandable. Will Ted Baillieu be a minister?
Ted has indicated to me he wishes to continue to serve as a member for Hawthorn, and I wish him well in that task.
For the first time, Premier, that is not an answer. Will he be a minister?
No, Ted has indicated he doesn't want to serve on the front bench. He wants to continue as a member for Hawthorn, and I respect that. Ted is a great friend, a great colleague, and he's been a great servant of Victoria and the Liberal Party.
Will his Chief of Staff, Tony Nutt, work in your office?
Well, I've 20 past 10 last night, Neil, I was sworn in as Premier, and I think you'll forgive me if I need to take a bit of time to consider the staffing structures in my new...
Right. Would you consider standing him down, given the events of the past week?
Well, give me a bit of time to restructure my Premier's office.
Yeah, but it's not a matter of restructuring your office. It's a matter of ethics and credibility.
Well, let me give me a bit of time to consider those matters. Having been sworn in at 20 past 10 last night.
Will the IBAC inquiry go ahead?
My understanding is there have been advice to IBAC, and it's up to IBAC. They're an independent authority.
Oh, so you can't sort of withdraw it, can't you?
No, well, IBAC are independent, and that's the difference. That under the previous Labor government, they refused to have an independent, broad-based anti-corruption commission. We have delivered on it, and we support it.
Can you communicate better than Ted Baillieu?
Well, that will be for people to judge into the future.
Is communication an issue for this government? Was there a problem with communication?
Well, I think all governments would argue that they need to be able to be good at communicators, and we're a government that is not about spin. It's not about spending a fortune of taxpayers' money on advertising, but we certainly need to get our message across, and that's one of the challenges that my whole team face, and I as Premier need to fundamentally look at that issue.
People didn't vote for you as Premier. Should there be an early election?
No, well, we work under a Westminster system of democracy here in Victoria and Australia, which means people are elected to various electorates and seats, and the majority party elects their leader as the Premier of the Parliament. I mean, John Brumby, Joan Kerner, Julia Gillard, Lara Giddings, Labor Premier in Tasmania, Jay Weatherall, Labor Premier in South Australia.
Yeah, but people
they're
don't
just a few off the top of my head.
Right. You're quite right. People don't like it. Could I just ask, what's going to change? What will be different under you?
Well, that'll be for people to judge into the future.
Well, what do you aim to make different?
What I aim to do is provide strong, decisive leadership for this government, get on with some significant projects for this state, and to make sure that we deliver good governance to the state, provide economic growth, job opportunities, and also look after those people who've got additional needs.